Greetings, this is Alan from NALA Bushcraft. I'm also known as Scout. Today I got with you Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert from Square One Technology, or in Penguin Naval Arms, and I'm here to talk about go bags.
Or it can also be referred to as a get home bag. You want stuff with you so you can get home where all your stuff is. You mind demonstrating your pack? What you got?
Yeah, well, I've got a pack here. This is a very interesting pack. And it has all the things in it that you need. The internal compartment is set up for your work, so that you can have a computer, you can have your papers and so forth, and you can go about your business, have all your gear that you need to survive for 3 days, and have it with you all the time.
Why 3 days?
3 days, emergency providers have a hard time getting to you within 3 days. Usually, after 3 days, you have emergency providers that can come onto the scene. I'm not sure exactly why that is. Why is that, Scout?
Well, during Hurricane Katrina, everything was just flattened, decimated. We had to attack from the north and south to get to the disaster. It wasn't like we could work from the center out. Everything had to be brought in. All the rescue equipment, all the boats and all the vehicles, and fuel ran out, water ran out. People were breaking into houses, stealing water, and getting water even on the back of the toilets, because it was the only fresh toilet they had was in the tank. Anything that was not nailed down or bolted down was used in one way or another for people what they needed. Looters ran rampant.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about how to alleviate some of that consternation so that you can be prepared for these things. What are the 3 things that you need for survival?
Food, water, shelter.
And those are a change in priority based on what you need at the moment.
Right. They've added communication to that problem because everyone needs communication now. We're so used to it, we can't live without it.
So let's get into it. What I want to do is talk about what you have on yourself for protection. And one of the things is that you need a hat. Okay. I personally like this hat. This is a Tilly hat. It's possible that you have a pair of gloves in your car. I use those for work. One of the pair of gloves that I really like that comes in the pack is these mechanics gloves. They are very light, they're tough, and they work. See, they have a little leather palm to them, but they're light. So it's not like the leather gloves. The other things that go through my mind is, are we still thinking about COVID?
Well, let's think about other things, not just COVID, but electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, natural disasters. I mean, there's a whole gambit of what could go wrong, but if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and civilization around you disappeared, how are you going to get home to where your stuff is, or where are you going to get to your help?
So these are the things that you wear. You need some eye protection. Those are safety glasses those are Wiley X safety glasses with sunglasses. But I also want to talk about some of the things that you might want on your person as you go along. Number 1, I have a couple of cotton bandanas, and they'll become important later on when we talk about water. I also want a pack of wipes. Whatever they are, whatever wipe, whatever brand you like. And I want a light just in case. I use a headlamp, and I'll hold it in my hand if I need to. He has one as well. That's a light.
It's all my keys for the tow rod.
Right.
Goes on my hat. And it's green.
The other thing that I want to put on the outside is I want some hand sanitizer. And the reason I want hand sanitizer is because I don't want you to get sick while you're hiking out. That is a terrible, terrible way to go. The other thing that I want to make sure that we do is that you don't drink unapproved water. That's part of health and sanitation. If you don't disinfect it, you're in trouble. It is very hard to keep hydrated if you have diarrhea and you're throwing up. Okay, this is a very special pack in that it has a lot of compartments to it, and you'll see some of the surprises. So should we talk about water now?
Yes.
Let's talk about water. In this pack, I put 2 Nalgene bottles. When I say go cheap, I want to make sure the reason why these are expensive, okay? However, they were given to me as a party favor by going to some company. So whatever water bottles you have, they work. Don't screw around with them. Just use them. Okay? How are you going to get water in a urban environment?
Well, hopefully you got it with you. If not, there's a key, universal key, that allows me to get in most spigots or anywhere.
And I have one in here. And we can go behind an industrial area. We can open the silcock and we can get water. Well, you got to have something to put water in. So one of the things is these are 1 liter water bottles. And notice they have the carabiners on them. You can attach them to your belt or your pack, whichever one you wish. Okay? Now, that takes care of water for a moment. But let's go to something that's a little bit more, you'll use it if you have to. And that is, you have a first aid kit. This is a simple first aid kit. And some people would want to expand this.
Yes.
I personally, I'm not going to put an Israeli bandage in this, but I could. But one of the things that you want to do is you want to be able to have some portable agua. Okay, these are little pills that you put in the water that you get out of the silcock that you open. Okay, those
and read the label. Read the label.
Read the label. These are more convenient. These are ones that are in their individual uses, and once you open this up, they're only good for a year. These last for longer because they're individually sealed. The other part of this is that you want your first aid items. And I have a little bit of cloth tape. This is compressed gauze, and you won't believe how much gauze is really in this until you open this package up. You also need to have analgesics. If you don't have analgesics, then your headaches or anything like that, your muscle aches, they're going to be a lot harder. You need a little bit of antibiotic ointment. I use this Bactracin. The reason why is because Neosporin, some people are allergic to it. I also have some packets of SPF 50 sunscreen. That in a hot environment, sunny environment, that'll be important. I also carry some nasal spray. Okay, and that's because you could have a cold. It's very hard to walk and do physical activity if you can't breathe. The other part of this is I have some insect repellent. If you don't have insect repellent and you're hiking, you're going to get beat up, aren't you?
Millions of mosquitoes down here.
I'm going to take some Q-tips. The reason why I'm taking Q-tips is because I can clean my equipment with it if I have to. If I drop my cell phone into the mud, I can clean out the ports on it with that. I have some Imodium AD, okay, and we don't want to have diarrhea while we're out doing this. The other thing I have is I have some antihistamines. Pick whatever antihistamine, this is Claritin, pick whatever antihistamine that you think works for you. Then I have some Band-Aids, some assorted sizes. All I'm looking for with this is the fact that in this first aid kit, I'm only taking care of minor things. And the reason is because I can't carry everything with me. But there is one thing I can carry, and that is a high vent chest seal. Now, this is a very serious thing. If you have an open chest wound, you can put this on all at one time. But you can pack any wound with gauze and put this over it, and it will stay there. It won't bleed. Okay? I can cut this up, and I can make multiple things to keep your wounds clean. And that's the object, is to keep it clean. I also have some, these are throat lozenges. I can't remember what flavor they are, but they're a cough drop, and they'll keep your mouth wet as you go along on your trail.
Wouldn't be a bad thing to add chapstick either, because it's multi-purpose. In the sun, you're gonna get chapped lips, but also it'll help for fire starting. You can put it on your gauze if you need a fire, and it'll make your fire last a little bit longer until you get some more tinder on it to make a better fire.
I believe this burns too. The other thing is we talked about water, and this is what water has to be done this way. This is part of your hygiene. You have to have water, you have to be clean, otherwise you become infected and you become less viable. So that's what this does. The first aid kit and the water together make that happen. The other thing that we want to talk about is shelter. Well, there's one other thing. If it's raining or shelter, you need a poncho. Now I'm using this USGI poncho, and the reason behind it, there's two theories here. I can take this and put this over me and over my pack, and I'm dry. At least my feet are not going to be dry, but everything else will be dry. The other thing is that, as Scout has shown us in another video, how to make a poncho shelter, and this one is perfect for that.
It is perfect for that. You draw the hood, you spread it out, you tie it down, you're good to go.
Okay, and that's all it is on the outside of this pack. And you can see we have a whistle for communications, and we have a compass in case you need it. The other thing that you want to have for your area is maybe a map. And you want to have your routes that you think are good to escape already mapped on the map. Okay? And you also want to have that communicated with your, with your team of people that you have around you, your wife, your kids, whatever that happens to be. So now, I'm going to show you that sometimes we have to barter with people. And how would you barter with people, Scout?
I would use cigarettes or anything that least values.
Right. Cigarettes, mini bottles of liquor, although those tend to leak.
Yeah. Cash, if you can use it, is great, but if the ATMs are down, if people don't care about the money right now, you gotta barter.
And inside here, close to the outside, I have a pack of cigarettes. And believe me, these become valuable when you're working with people who are uncooperative. Okay? All right? So you're going to pull it out and say, hey, hold on, would you like a cigarette? And chances are, if they're outside giving people a hard time, they'll say, yeah, I'd like to have one. And so you give them a couple of cigarettes, and now you can go on your way and learn more from them.
It's an interrogation tool. Using cigarettes, it breaks the ice. And also it's barter. You can get favors. You can you win friends.
So I'm going to show you the inside of the pack. The inside of the pack here has a computer, has its power supply, and this is not necessarily something that you would take on your trip. Okay, this is something that you're using for work, and you're at work, and this pack is able to be used for work. The other thing that I put in here is I put in some cordage. This is survivor cord. It has 7 strands in it. You can use it for a lot of different things. And it's paracord. It's 1,000 pounds. tensile strength on it is 1,000 pounds. Okay, you have to put this, these two kind of go together.
It's a kit.
Okay. Now we get into the meat of your survival pack. And in this pack, we have everything in this is a Vertex pack that has a concealed carry compartment in it. And I've filled this compartment up with some things. So, we still have to talk about food, right?
You need food.
Well, I chose these survival rations. These are SOS survival rations. They are bars of nutrition. They're 25-year shelf life. There's 3,600 calories in this, and each bar is 410 calories. So, to get out 3 days, there's a stack, 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stack. There you go.
If you do it right, it'll last you a week.
It can last you a week. The other thing is we talked about communications. The highest form of communications is your cell phone, right?
Yes.
Cell phones don't necessarily work in a disaster. Look at this right here is an FM AM weather band radio. Okay, and you can see you can go through the bands,
so you can find out what disasters are happening. You can't communicate out on it, but you can.
Yeah. Like here's FM. This is on the Calhoun County EMA radio. They play music just because they have it. So there's a weather band in here. You can find the right weather band, it'll work.
Okay.
It's kind of cool, but you
and
know.
Also the latest news or developments.
That's right. Now I have some tape here. I have some electrical tape. I have some butyl tape, and who knows what you'll need that for. I don't know, but I put it in there because I use electrical tape for a lot of stuff. But here are your tools, okay, in this package. And in this package, you need to keep your cell phone going, you need to keep your lights going, and I have a 56,000 milliamp hour battery.
So how many hours will that give you? About 2
Well,
days?
this will charge an iPhone 11 times.
Wow.
You can go a whole week if you have communications discipline.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll also charge this, the radio.
Wow. So you got cords and everything for it.
Here are the cords and everything for it.
Okay.
Okay. Here I like to have a multi-tool as well. Okay. It has everything I need in it to do whatever's necessary.
And you got 2 means of making a fire. You got a lighter and a ferro rod.
Yes, I do. Here's the ferro rod. Here's the lighter. And you can see I can strike it off of this. I have other things to strike it off of. I have my EDC knife that I could do it with. I also, since I don't know what you're going to get into, I have 5 or 6 zip ties. And
that's also good for making a shelter too, because you can lash wood together. You can.
That's right.
Or you can restrain somebody if you need to.
The other thing here is this is 60 feet of Kevlar thread.
Fishing line to me.
Could be fishing line. Could be that I want to fix something with it. I've got a gash in my pack. I can take this with the awl that's in it, and I can go ahead and I can just sew it in.
And it's strong.
It's strong. It'll even put this shelter up. This right here is also a knife. This is a cheap knife. Okay? It is a Chinese knife, but it's a full tang knife. And you need a bigger knife than what your EDC carry is or what your multi-tool has. This is also easier to handle when you're doing something more delicate.
And it's safer. It's not going to collapse on your fingers.
Right.
And you can pound wood with it to make a fire if you need to, or it's strong. You'll pry.
So I come up to the optional thing that's in this bag is that I have a 22 caliber I have a 22 caliber pistol. Okay, feel how light that is.
Mere ounces rather than pounds.
Right. Also, each one of these magazines is 25 rounds. Now, I'm not saying that you need this. This is optional, but this gives you some personal protection. This also gives you be able to hunt small game, start your fire, cook it, whatever you need to do. You don't have to be with the rations the whole time.
Yeah.
And that'll make you feel better. Okay? The other thing is this right here is a Velcro pack. I can pull this out. I can put my belt through this. And now I have it on my belt as a holster. And I don't have to have it in my pack.
How much does this pack weigh, roughly?
The pack without the computer and the water is it's under 14 pounds.
The more you know, the less you can carry. But 14 pounds, it's equivalent to like a gallon weighs 8 pounds. So you're consider maybe 2 gallons at most. If it's light enough, you're gonna carry it with you everywhere, do everything you need to do with it. And it's got a computer in there, which might add another, 5 pounds?
Maybe.
This has everything you can possibly get to get you from work to home safe. The only thing I would add was chapstick to it.
This is complete for the mission set that we're talking about. The other optional thing is I have a Petzl carabiner. That is a professional carabiner that has a lot of tensile strength to it. And I don't know what we would use it for, but if we have this cordage, then we need to have a carabiner in case we need to do something technical. The other thing is some add-ons is that you could add on some electrolytes like this. You could add on, let's see, what else do they have?
Deck cards.
Yeah, deck of cards to keep you busy.
A game book, just something to occupy time, because when you're in survival mode, you're gonna be bored or looking for something to do, or some people panic and they need to calm down. Just different things to keep your mind active. Don't give up. Prior planning prevents pitiful performance. 5 P's.
Absolutely, and this is the Go
Urban Get Home bag or Go bag. This prevents you from meeting your demise in a disaster and actually help you survive any catastrophe to get you home safe. It's where your supplies are.
So, if you were in a bushcraft situation, if you were in a wilderness situation, there is a lot more stuff that you might want to carry with you. Not much more, but it would be somewhat different.
Oh, it'd be a lot different. Self-defense is something that you can consider. Multi-tool is definitely helpful. Cordage, cutlery, combustion, cover, container.
If we come back over here for a moment, back inside here, you can see I've got my work stuff with my pens and pencils, but I also have a fork. Okay, I have a spoon. I have the knives all over the pack. It's just awful nice to have a metal fork and spoon.
And don't pass up condiments. You can always make a meal out of crackers and ketchup packs if you got to.
The one thing that's missing out of here is toilet paper. Okay, but I wouldn't put that in my go pack. Remember, you're in an office setting. Just go to the supply closet, get a roll of toilet paper, and put it in your pack when you're about to leave. The other thing is that fast food places' napkins make good toilet paper. So you don't have to carry everything with you, but you have to be willing to pick it up and clean it, because it's somebody's discarded mess.
I think that covers it.
Yeah, I do too.
Good job.
Thank you.